Good day, fellas. I hope you're ready for your extra daily dose of skill. Today we are going to play with a P.43, which is Italian tier 5 medium tank, and we are making the video with this tank. In fact, not remaking video, making video on this tank. I want to revive the extra channel with the daily content. I will try to do my best to keep up with everything, and we will try to do our best to pretty much have videos with every and each tank from tier 5 up to tier 7 refreshed. Also, index page, fellas, it's always here for you. You can find the YouTube videos, tank ratings, community ratings. In fact, you can rate the tanks yourself via logging in via our gaming API and simply rating the tanks with which you have more than 50 games plus. And thank you very much for your time as well. So, all in all, where this tier 5 tank goes. From what I remember, this vehicle isn't anything super extraordinary or super special, to be fair with you. The tank has 110 alpha damage, 118 millimeters of penetration with a standard ammunition, 700 shell velocity. If you are making a decision to load the gold, you have up to 146 millimeters of penetration, but it's nothing extraordinary. The tank, I would say the tank can be called average vehicle in the tier 5 in the best case scenario, right? And there is nothing bad on being average tank or overall to have average tanks in the game. That means it just simply isn't good and it's not the best vehicle in the game. That's all there is to say. Especially in this situation when matchmaking is against the tier 7s, this is going to be a bit more rough on our head. This is going to be a bit more rough on the tank, but once again, we are okay. We are going to play very, very safe because armor definitely isn't reliable against the higher tiers, and even against the equal tiers, armor isn't the best feature of this tank. In fact, like I said before, I just simply think the tank is average at everything and it doesn't have too many quirks or features to offer. But to be fair with you, in the tier, speaking about the tier 5s, it is completely normal, you know, whatever panzer you will look at, you will see the average tank, right? And that is okay. Once again, there is nothing bad about this. Meanwhile, we are just simply waiting for enemies to make silly goose mistake, and we are trying to punish them for their stupidity, right? So nothing too crazy, nothing unusual. All we need to do, we need to have our eyes widely open and just simply punish enemies whenever they are messing up, right? So nothing too crazy and nothing unusual. Good couple of the punishing shots left, right, and center. This is exactly what we want to see, and this is exactly what we need in this situation. Keep this in mind that we are bottom tank in the tier 7 matchmaking. That being said, we just simply want to be as passive as we physically and possibly can, right? Nothing too much more to say. And that is okay. So far, 700 damage dealt, we are chilling, we are enjoying the weather, and we are having a great time sniping from the red line. Also, what I would recommend, whenever it happens to be that you are bottom tank with this vehicle, or as a matter of fact, with any tier 5, to have quite a bit of the gold ammunition just to keep slapping the enemies, right? Because this is going to be rough, and this is going to be hard. And in fact, what I can tell you instantly, I can tell you we are not even close for being, for winning this game, right? In fact, our journey simply just starts right now, and obviously we will try to do our best in order to be successful, but I'm not going to make a hardcore pressure here. I just do not see any use whatsoever for us to be so aggressive and to get involved to the level like this, right? Meanwhile, we will try to go for some blind shots because we can and because we do not really have anything better to do at the moment. Where the gun goes, it is average. You can miss the shots, and to be completely honest with you, speaking about the tier 5 isn't the best gun handling wise either way, right? So it's okay. Going for a blind shots left, right, and center, that is okay. And I have a feeling that what we need to do... Good. Mr. Grilem eliminated from the game. Excellent. Preso. What I would love to see, I would love to see this Burza sitting somewhere here. And I have a feeling that this gentleman may sit here near this rock or near this stone. Apparently it's not the case because our guys would have already spotted him. That's okay. So what do we need to do in this situation? In this situation, we are going to take our time and we are going to simply try to flank the enemy heavy tanks, or alternatively just say hello for enemy sniper schnitzels, right? Like I said, this is kind of straightforward situation for us. Good, good, good. At first I thought that we are not winning this game by any shape or any form, but luckily our team is just simply beating the living crap out of the enemies, and this is exactly what I would love to see. Beautiful blind shot towards this Type 62. He thought he is safe in this position, but reality was a bit different, and that is okay. Okay, what do we have? We have VK sitting here around the corner. Can we spot him for our forces and can we do any damage whatsoever ourselves? Once again, this is a tier 7, so without thinking too much, I am just simply going to load the gold ammunition. Right, and I do not feel guilty about this, I do not feel bad about this whatsoever. This is the correct way to play the game. You know, if I want to bounce as well, I can shoot high explosives and complain how bad everything is going, right? This is what I can do. Meanwhile, this tier 6 is very dangerous for us. And he has a very decent alpha damage as well, but it's okay. All we need to do at this point, we need to make as much pressure as we physically and possibly can, and we are going to be fine. Also, fellas, this tank feels relatively slow, but once again, it depends with what tank you played before. If you played with a Cromwell, sure thing, this tank will feel extremely slow. If you played with a Mouse, this tank will feel relatively quick. So it depends what we are talking about, but for a tier 5, speed of this vehicle is definitely average, and most of the tier 5 medium tanks will be as fast as this one. So you will, while you are driving, you are going to say tar 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 tar. That's all you are going to say about it. Beautiful. That was a good game, considering that we are bottom tier and considering how the situation was looking like. What we managed to do, 1.3 thousand damage, 200 assisting damage, not the game to cry about. We are 6th by experience, we are 3rd by the damage because I was sniping from the back, and we got ourselves minus 6,000 credits, but that's to be expected considering how many gold rounds I was spamming and what have I done in this situation. Nevertheless, I am completely okay. What do we want to do now? We want to keep grinding and we want to keep slapping the enemy forces. So let's go for round number 2. Okay, mine standard battle. I'm going to go on the field. I think this is the proper play. Also keep this in mind, fellas. This is our extra channel. If you are not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. It costs absolutely nothing, and hopefully you will enjoy best of videos and live videos for a lower tiers, because this is what we are covering on the extra channel. Or alternatively, we are covering whenever there is a lot of new tanks coming out, we are giving some fresh reviews to this channel as well, right? If there is plenty of the tanks, for example loot boxes and whatnot. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to take this position here, and from this position all we want enemies to make a bit of pressure, right? That's what we want to do. We want to slap them, and we want to feel very happy about this. And you know what? We are going to feel very happy about this. Beautiful, 100 in the face. That's nice. And what I just noticed, I noticed that I am not even spotted. So I will go for another one, and I will go for one more just because I feel I can afford it. Beautiful, and you know what? I will go for one more because I can afford it. And since this gentleman is so clueless, we are going to keep farming him. What we need to keep in mind, fellas, we need to keep in mind that we are playing against the lower tiers, and this is a tier 5 matchmaking. So obviously not every and each player is the best player in the world of tanks. We are just slapping the new players overall, right? So this is important thing to highlight. There is nothing, what I'm trying to say that there is nothing to be proud of slaughtering the poor guy who probably returned to the game after not playing for a very long time, and he is feeling a bit clueless. And that's okay, you know? there is nothing bad on being clueless in the game. In fact, I can tell you from my side, I miss those days when I knew absolutely nothing about the game. By the way, I have a feeling that someone is sniping from this position here. At least it was looking like it. But maybe I am wrong at the moment. Who knows? Okay, 3 gentlemen who may try to make a bit of pressure for us, right? There is a Chinu, there is Matilda, and there is A20. That being said, what I would love to do, I would love to punish this guy sideways, and I would love to say hello for a Mr. Matilda. Matilda doesn't have the greatest penetration, and he doesn't have the greatest gun handling, so I'm not even bothering to move left, right, and center, you know? I am just simply enjoying the journey, and I am just simply slapping this guy in the face. As you can see, 0 F's given where our performance goes, because I know Matilda tier 5 has like 80 millimeters of penetration, and average is good enough in order to block the shots from this guy. So nothing too crazy, nothing unusual. And fellas, all of this knowledge which I have stored somewhere in my head, every and each of you can have it after playing the game for quite a bit of time, right? And keep this in mind, I am doing this for a living. I'm an internet beggar for a living, right? So for me, I just simply need to know the stuff like this, the tanks that I should be afraid of, and the tanks which are just simply straight up laughable, right? Like this Matilda was. Meanwhile, it's time to reconsider our life choices, and it's time to relocate a bit. Skill, why are you relocating? I would love to take this corner over there, and from this corner, I think we can start slapping the Leopard or T-34, or alternatively Cover 1S if he is making pressure, or whoever else, doesn't really matter, right? We just want to relocate a bit, if I can say so. That's all we need for a full happiness. Now, A20 made the life significantly more difficult for us, unfortunately. That being said, I changed my mind, and I do not want to make an approach like this. I do not really think it is worth it. Instead of going like crazy mother truckers this way, we are going to take this position instead where I am playing now, right? I think this is going to be significantly better, and in the same time we are crafting a bit of the bush lane over there, and that is okay. Now we are seeing the invasion of the enemy tanks. Every and each mother trucker is considering about making a hardcore pressure for us, and that is completely fine. What we will do meanwhile, we are going to knock this tree down, so we are going to have a nice bush for ourselves, and now we are protected from this side, and we are protected from the front as well. All we need to do in this situation is just to try to punish enemy forces every single time whenever they are doing something silly. And I can promise you that enemies will make some silly goose mistakes. They are going to make some pressure, and they are going to regret their life choices. This is my goal, and this is what I need to do in this game. Meanwhile, we can see that heavy tank is making tiny touch pressure over there. That being said, I need to pay a humongous attention where he is aiming or what is he doing, right? This is exactly what we are looking at. Speaking about exactly what I'm looking at, A20 is trying to flank us as well. That's okay. We are just trying to punish him left, right, and center. And unfortunately, AMX light tank crossed. So this situation just became a hell of a harder situation for us, right? It is not going to be simple. We are going to get effed here, and I will enjoy the situation, right? I will enjoy the situation. Meanwhile, as you can see, this guy is just simply making a hardcore pressure, 240 in the ass and coming. Not a big deal, it is completely fine, let's keep it up, let's try to get as much damage as we physically and possibly can over there. And look at this beauty, absolutely glorious. For a tier 5 game, In this situation, whenever we are losing the game to this margin, to have a score like this is amazing. And we are back, fellas. Unfortunately, with a defeat, but with a solid ace wanker nevertheless. We got ace, we got high caliber, 2,500 damage, 1,000 assisting damage. We are talking about the tier 5 performance, fellas. So keep this in mind, this is phenomenal result for this tank. And obviously 2 kills. Meanwhile, we scored first by experience, first by the damage by humongous margin, and we got ourselves 15,000 profits, although profits are coming pretty much from the boosters which our clan got activated. Nevertheless, great performance, fellas. I'm super happy about this. Anyways, let's go for round number 3. Last but not least, we have ourselves province standard battle. Okay. We are bottom tier, so what that means? That means we need to be relatively cautious about our behavior and about our actions. But I have a straight up plan what we are going to do over there. We are going to take this position here, and we will try to spot every and each person crossing like this. From crossing forces, we may get a very good assisting damage, and this is exactly what we are looking for, and this is exactly what we need. All I am hoping for is that our forces will pre-aim to this position, right? Because our play is very standard and very simple. We are in the bush. That's all we need for a full happiness, okay? That's all we need for a full happiness. Now there is a bit of the problem that this gentleman is playing here, but luckily he did not outspotted us. And just because he did not outspotted us, we are kind of sitting well, you know, we are chilling. Although someone else spotted us, this is a different stuff. Okay, I am aware of that. We are okay. We are okay. Now we need to be very careful just because... Oh, Arta in the open field. Interesting. We need to be extremely careful in this situation just because we do not know who outspotted us, right? We need to be super careful. Speaking about being careful, fellas, there is T-34-85 who is just simply making a hardcore pressure for us. So the situation became 10 times more complicated and 10 times more fierce, if I can say so. Can I do something about this? Absolutely nothing. All I can attempt to do is to kill this Arta meanwhile, you know, slap Artas while they are young and try to escape. Very difficult situation for us, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. What we can hope that our guys will try to make a pressure, or I suppose to say, our guys will try to punish this gentleman for his stupidity and for his mistakes. That's all I need for a full happiness at the moment. And in the same time, we can join punishing forces as well, especially whenever this guy doesn't pay attention, right? And as you can see, he doesn't. He made a very good decision over there to make pressure and to counter my position. But even though with his excellent decision to get involved like this, he made one mistake. He made a decision not to shoot me, right? And that was a problem. That was definitely a problem from this guy's side. Okay, let's see what do we want to do now. I would love to see some sniper schnitzel sitting here in the back, and I have no doubts whatsoever that enemies has some sniper schnitzels. In fact, I am going to make a bit of more pressure myself. Why so? Because I think it is going to pay off. I want to take this position right here, and hopefully, we can start eliminating enemy forces. I'm aware of this Tiger P, fellas. You do not need to tell me anything about him. I am very well aware about this gentleman. Nevertheless, we are going back to the bush, and now we have a straight up line for a typical sniper schnitzel position over there. And look at this beauty. Look at this beauty, fellas. How good of the thing is to see half of the enemy team sitting sideways. I'm aware of that I may be outspotted after I shoot. I understand this, but in the same time, Oi, who asked you to? Who asked you to? Good. Come on, guys, come on. Shoot him! Ay, 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 ay. And at the same time, Tiger returned back for a defense. Ay, 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 ay. The position was absolutely glorious and position was fine. We were about to get significantly more use of all of this, but unfortunately in this type of situation, Tiger simply had a maxima pawn. What that means not much what we can change about this. If I would be able to change anything in this game, would I change anything? Nah, not really. I would still play aggressively here and I would try to outspot the sniper schnitzel sitting in the back. But once again, that's my mistake, and in the same time we trade a tier 5 tank, which is me, against the Tiger P, which is a tier 7, so that's okay. Let's see the score. And we are back, fellas. It wasn't as bad as I expected. Unfortunately, we came back with a defeat, but what can we do? 1.2 thousand damage, 1.1 thousand assisting damage, not a bad game considering we were bottom tier mother truckers. M10 spotted a lot. Ah, M10 was a spotter schnitzel, very, very nice, and Jet Panther was doing damage over there. Either way, great game, we can't complain about this, we broke even where the credits goes, which is very, very much appreciated, and our performance with this tier 5 was good. Even though we haven't won many games, we still played very, very well. We got 33% win ratio, so only 1 out of 3 games, but where performance went, it was good. 1.7 thousand damage, 800 assisting damage to get 2.5 thousand combined with a tier 5 shitter, fellas, this is a very, very good performance. All in all, I don't think this tank is bad. I don't think this tank is good. I would say it's somehow average tank, and it deserves where it belongs, if I can say so. Anyways, for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed your daily dose of skill. Feel free to like the video, that helps channel a lot, and see you very, very soon. Skill is out for today. Peace.